Now look, if you remember, just a couple days ago, we covered the heartbreaking case of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro, the baby who vanished from a parking lot in Yucaipa, California. And we all know there were more questions than answers, especially with investigators pointing out inconsistencies in the mother's story and suspicion building around the family. But now, the case have taken a shocking turn. Both of Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, have been arrested on unalivened charges. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay into the end of this episode because we about to dive into what happened, how investigators got here, and what this means for the search for Emmanuel. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 125. So yesterday, August 22nd, law enforcement moved in. Jake and Rebecca was arrested at their home in Cabazon. And you already know the charges, MURDER. And this is a big shift from what the public was first told. Remember, Rebecca claimed that she was attacked in the Big 5 parking lot, knocked out, and when she woke up, Emmanuel was gone. Now, that story launched a full search effort, but investigators said that her story didn't quite add up. And when she cut off the police interviews, the suspicion only grew. And now with the arrest, police are essentially confirming what many had feared, that this wasn't some type of stranger kidnapping at all, but something potentially far worse.
We got an update on a baby, Emmanuel Haro. And y'all, this shit just got dark. Y'all remember, everybody was treating this situation as a kidnapping because the mother said when she was at the Big 5 store, changing her son in the back seat, she was attacked from behind. And when she woke up, the baby was gone. That story had everybody like, damn, like what the fuck? And then come to find out, the baby was never kidnapped, y'all, because the parents just went to prison for the murder of their own 7-month-old child. I called it numerous times. When I seen her talking like, I was like, bruh, I'm trying to believe her, but then at the same time, I can't because it's like all that shit she was saying, it was making it hard to believe. So I already had my mind made up, but I was hoping that wasn't the case, y'all. Even when she was talking to investigators, they didn't believe her story. They was like, you said this, now you saying this. So they was already filling in the cracks like, shorty, you did something to that baby.
So what led to this? I mean, authorities haven't released every detail yet, but we do know this. Multiple search warrants were executed at the Haro family home in Cabazon. Forensic teams and also cadaver dogs were deployed. Their vehicle was seized for examination, and also the SWAT team was on the ground, showing you how serious investigators are taking this. And the sheriff's department has now officially shifted the case into a homicide investigation. Even with both of the parents behind bars, the most haunting part still remains. Emmanuel still has not been found. Now, it's impossible to ignore the background here. I already talked about Jake Haro's criminal past a couple episodes ago when I first dove into the case. Matter of fact, that video will be in the description below, so make sure you go check it out. Now, he was convicted of child cruelty back in 2018 and was already on probation when Emmanuel disappeared. Combine that history with the inconsistencies in Rebecca's stories, and it'll be easy to see why police zeroed in on the parents. And for investigators, this isn't just about a missing child anymore. It's about accountability for a pattern of behavior that may have finally escalated into a tragedy. And the arrest have shaken the local community because at first, people have came together for visuals, prayers, and searches, hoping that Emmanuel will be found alive. But now, many are feeling betrayed because the very people who were supposed to protect him are now being charged with his death. Even nonprofits that had pulled back from the whole situation before, like the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, they're now saying that they're not surprised by the turn of events. And online, the case is exploding, with debates about whether warning signs in the Haro household were ignored too long. So where does this leave us? Well, Jake and Rebecca Haro are sitting in jail facing unaliving charges. And the search for Emmanuel continues, but hope is fading fast. And authorities have not said whether they believe that the baby's body will be found. And every update makes the outcome look more grim. Now, this is one of those cases that reminds us of the darker side of true crime. A baby, a family with a history of abuse, and a story that went from suspicious to tragic in just a matter of days. Now, I want to hear what y'all think about this situation. Did you see this coming? Or were you holding out hope that Emmanuel will be found safe? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.